The Default News reports on trends and issues within the housing foreclosure industry. It helps homeowners, investors and real estate executives better understand the foreclosure process. Annemarie du LeBohn is CEO of The Default News. Annemarie, nice to see you again.
Great to see you too, Mike.
And our topic this week is buying foreclosed or real estate owned properties. Firstly, how does the buying process work?
Well, the buying process works in a couple different ways depending on which type of a property you're buying. But since the answer could be at least 20 minutes long, let's just focus on buying an REO property, which means buying property that's directly owned by the bank. The investor really should focus on what they want to buy. Before they talk to a real estate agent, they should know if they want to buy, let's say, a condo or a single-family resident or a multiplex. They should know if they want it to be an investment property, or they want cash flow, or they want to live in it, or are they just going to rent it out. Once they have the really solid foundation of what they're looking for, then they'll want to go and find a reputable REO listing agent. And from there, that agent can better define and find the right property for them.
So what are some of the things then to be aware of when buying foreclosed properties?
There's a lot of things to be aware of, and again, it depends on the stage the property is in. For example, if you're buying a property that is directly from the homeowner, and let's say it's a short sale, you have to really pre-qualify the homeowner first. Make sure that they qualify for a short sale, because you can invest easily 3, 4, 5 months of time and energy into trying to buy one property, only to find out at the very end that the homeowner doesn't qualify for it. If it's a property that is owned by the bank, well, the property is going to be sold as is. So you have to consider, are you ready for all of the repairs? So you might want to go out and get 2 or 3 different bids to find out if you have the finances to be able to pay for those repairs. Things like this. Just do as much due diligence as you can in regards to pre-qualifying the property, the homeowner, and making sure that you're qualified to make that investment.
Are buyers taking on any additional liabilities?
Some of them are. Some of them are, and that's because they're not doing their due diligence. For example, let's say an investor wants to buy a property at an auction. I know a number of people who have done very well at buying properties at auctions, but they see the property, it looks good, maybe they haven't looked inside, maybe they don't realize that there's a tenant living there. They go to the auction, they make the bid, they win the bid, and this is a property that they might want to buy to live in. Well, after they buy the property, they find out there's someone living there. Well, they have to evict the person, and that could take a couple of months. And so these are liabilities that they have to make sure that they're doing their due diligence to avoid.
Is it true that banks are selling their real estate owned properties at 30% below market value?
Many people think that the banks are selling them at way below market value because there's such an inundated, the market is so inundated with properties, but that's not true. The banks are trying to sell the property at their market value. It all just depends on how long the property has been on market. So they're going to be more willing, they meaning the banks, are going to be more willing to negotiate their price the longer the property has been on the market. So if the property has been on the market, let's say 90 days, 120 days, more than likely they'll come down below the market value.
If somebody wants to find out more, how do they do that?
They can get a hold of me at my website, which is www.thedefaultnews.com.
Annemarie, thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike.